Hey, what's going on, big dogs? Welcome back to the channel. Your boy CGOD coming at you once again from my front yard. Today, back again on the OBS Blazer, boys. Got the 15 by 12 and a halves on it. Y'all know what it is. She's super dirty. It's been raining and whatnot, so disregard that. But today, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. So I uploaded a short, and it was basically like I did a little alignment on the front because I dropped the keys all the way down, right? So I don't know how it looks to y'all, but the rear is sitting up at least like a ½ inch or so. You know, we'll probably actually take measurements. But what I plan to do today is back here, you see we got our leaf pack, right? Leaf pack contains 4 leaves and an overload spring on the bottom. I want to pull the overload spring out so it'll drop at least that much. That is the idea. So that's the plan for today, as well as I got a little box over here with a couple of goodies. So nothing too crazy, you know, just some little spacer Johnnies. So these are 1.5 inches. And basically, way I came up with that is if you look out here, you see our fender flare lines up basically with this tread block. Our rear lines up right around here, and this is about 1.5 inch tread block. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that for y'all. You see what I'm saying? That's our rear there. To be like all the way like that, you know what I mean? We need that 1.5 inches. Now, I measured with my toe plates, you know, to get the actual width from the wheels, and they're the exact same. Which means the body and or the fender flares, like the body is more in the front to make the wheels look like they stick out, or the fender flares in the back are wider. So either way, it kind of irks me, but we got the spacer Johnnies, boys. Gonna go ahead and get it spaced out and hopefully lower down in the back, and definitely gonna have to hit it with a wash. Drove through some rain and it took my blue lettering off my tires for me, but they're still filthy, you know. So we'll get her all cleaned up after we get her dropped down a little bit, you know, put the little spacer Johnnies on it. Go ahead, start things off. We're gonna jack it up, of course, you know, set the truck on stands. To do this, we're gonna have to basically remove the U-bolts and drop the axle down, and there should be like a stud that goes through the leaf pack that clamps them all together. We have to remove that to be able to get the bottom one out and then reinstall it and basically put the U-bolts back on, you know, reverse of what we just did. So that's the idea, boys. Let me get her yacked up though. Alright, buddy boys, as you can see, wheels are off. Got our spacer Johnnies on. Not too hard. All we did was just bolt them on, 6 by 5.5, you know what it is. And they are indeed hub centric. So as you can see, real tight fit on the hub. Help us with our big old wheels to not break. So inside here, this is what I was talking about. Our center bolt, I hit everything with WD-40 already just to make sure we get easy removal of everything. Going to be pulling these 4 U-bolts. Well, the nuts on the U-bolts at least. Getting our axle free. Probably going to do both sides maybe. Or actually, I might just do one side at a time, low-key. We'll see, though. I might have to loosen up the U-bolts at least. But hopefully it works out pretty smooth. We can gain access down under here. Get this loose and pull our overload leaf. And from there, boys, it should be golden. So, let me go ahead and get on that, and I'll bring y'all right back. Alright, so beginning disassembly. We got the lower perch off, both the U-bolts there. Rear axle supported by the yak. About to lower the impact down onto here. Zoom off this nut to be able to separate our spring pack. Should be good from there. Got the nuts off. Came off pretty easy. U-bolts still appear to be in good condition. Everything's groovy, so we're gonna go ahead and try to zoom this off. Let's see if we can hit her real quick. Looks like we're like losing tension on all of it. And she's off. So there she is. Nice and separated. We'll probably have to lower the axle down to be able to drop that piece out, remove our lower leaf here. So I'll go ahead and get on that and I'll bring y'all right back. There you have your overload spring pulled out. Went ahead and put together our assembly already. So basically you just remove this. This is like a stud that goes through that has a pin on the bottom. So that's basically like your alignment pin that'll sit in your rear end. So just make sure you got that, and also clamps together these other 4 leaf springs. So I mean, as you can see, we're not necessarily pulling out anything. These are all tensioned up via these clamps. So pulling this one out, it's called an overload spring just because whenever you're towing or anything like that to where it makes your leaves come up at too much of a straight angle, then these ones will come into place and start stiffening your ride up to make sure you don't do damage or whatever, you know. So put that back together. Ended up putting a washer on the top of this because normally the nut sits all the way down on top of the leaf itself instead of this U-bolt perch. But put that on there, tightened it up. We're ready to jack this bad boy back up into place. Put the U-bolts on, tighten it on up, and hit the other side, boys. Yee! Alright, boys. So ya estuvo la cosa. We got the wheels back on. Got it jacked up and whatnot. You know what I mean? Pulled out the other leaf, or the other helper spring. See in here. Got her all set up. Basically getting her yacked up right now to come off of the stands, but we're essentially should be seeing the height, hopefully, in theory. We're coming off of one stand, probably have to drive it around or something to get the final height, but we'll see, I suppose, you know. There we have it. Hopefully she went lower and we're not maxing out the chocks. I think it may have went lower. Definitely gonna have to drive it a little bit, see if she'll settle or something. Possibly maxing out the shocks. Did it feel like we were maxing the shocks?
Not really.
Should like do it to this side. Did you do it to just one side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, do it to this side. See how it looks. Yeah, I don't think we're maxing anything out. I think we might treat it to a full tank of gas. Low key, that thing, if anything, it's probably only going to drop us whatever amount this is, which is like ½ an inch. So, I mean, that's about where it's at, I guess. We'll take her for a little spin, fill her up with some gas, see what she looks like after that. Probably put the caps on too. Well, that's all they got us right there, basically. Still a little bit higher in the back. Hopefully the suspension will settle some more in the rear, but I mean, I doubt it. At the very minimal though, it was at least ½ inch. It was raked like a lot before. So like now you can just like barely tell, you know. That's not bad. Like I wonder if I can measure it off of my fingers now. So it's basically like to the top of my knuckle there. Yeah, low key. Yeah, that's pretty even right there. If I could go a little bit lower in the rear, it would be cool. I could always raise the front up some more, you know, just adjust the keys a little bit more if I wanted it perfectly level. But like as for being low, it has this dual exhaust that's already pretty close. It looks like we still have a good 2 to 3 inches from the bump stop, so that's okay. It does have these like Bielstein 4x4 off-road looking shocks that'll probably max out, so that might be an issue. But the height's not too bad. It's actually like pretty level. Whenever I had first dropped the keys all the way in the front, it was a good like half-inch lower in the front than the rear. But I think that the keys settled, you know, from me going to work and whatnot, and it dropped it some more. Back here, I want to say this rear looks a little bit higher. It's probably like a 1/4 inch higher than the other side, but this front is also higher. My driver's side entirely is just higher, but it fits really nice. And with the spacers on, I wonder if you guys will be able to tell the poke now. You see what I mean about how the rear comes out to like 1, 2 of the tire treads? And the front is the same. You know what I mean? So I think I did a pretty good call on the 1.5 inch spacer. Sticks out real nice now. You can see it on this side pretty good too. You know what I mean? We got a good amount of poke on both sides now. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue like going through drive-thrus or anything like that, but it might, you know. Just feeling my little tire tread marks. See if they're still there. But yeah, she's looking pretty good though. Hopefully, like I said, it might settle a little bit more like the way the front did. I'm not too sure. But I did drive it around, put a full tank in it, stuff like that. I'm going to tighten up the lug nuts and stuff again before I put the caps on, you know. That way they get a little bit of mileage on them. That way they have their chance to loosen up or whatever. Same thing with the U-bolts, boys. I'm going to hit the U-bolts again right now just to verify they're tight after driving it again. And then it should be set, you know. Shouldn't have to mess with it anymore. But that is basically it. That's what it looks like. Pretty firme. Like I said, very daily driver status. 4x4. Like if you could look at the drive shaft angle, like it's really good still. So I mean, she should be 100% solid. It's basically stock. The front is lowered only like 1 inch or 2. You know, but she's got a very mean stance to it. With it being 4x4, the front wheels stick out more. That's the reason for the spacers in the back. If you did want to go lower, the same way we pulled out that one, there's 4 leafs in the pack. You could just take apart this piece right here and actually remove more, you know. And once you start removing those, then you'll start affecting ride quality, you know, and like your load capacity or whatever. But it'll definitely get you lower, you know what I mean? But this one, like I said, I'd like to leave it kind of stock-ish. And with it being 4x4 and all that good stuff, I'm going to just keep it like this. Sick daily driver, you know, probably even be able to tow with it and everything still. But has a lot of space inside, you know what I mean? It's just a very solid truck, boys, and it looks killer. Get her tightened up and all that. But yeah, like I said, we basically tried to GHETTO drop it. It had to have dropped at least like a 1/2 inch or so, whatever these are, so it'll look better. I'm pretty sure it looks firme, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you ever like see your stuff driving down the road and it looks so much better, but like you never get to see that because you're driving it most of the time, you know? That's basically what happened. Like whenever I sold the Softail, seeing my bike right away, I was like, damn, that's how I look on that bad motherfucker. Yeah, I got a little something out there, boys. This is the freshest cop, but that's definitely going to be for another video. For right now, finishing up with this Blazer. The spacers came out perfect. They ride good. I only drove up to like 50 miles an hour or so, but no vibrations or anything. Same thing from the drive shaft. You know, sometimes you lower these and the angle goes weird. But, I mean, our angle looks pretty good. Like I said, I didn't have no issues. The wheels and tires and everything look centered and stuff. We didn't really mess with the main leaf springs. It's just the overload springs. So it should be good, boys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to stay tuned. We got more coming. I do intend to put a killer sound system in here. So that's going to be coming up next in the future. But for now, boys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for what's coming up. And I'll catch y'all then. Later.